Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome in to the channel. Thank you guys for being here. It is Thursday again. Today's October 29th, 2020, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching us between 9 and 9:30, 9:45, it's live. Otherwise, you're watching the replay, and I appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. Let's just call this what it is. It's going to be a rant video because, man, this week I have had a lot of stuff going on, and I found a way to still try to get up videos for you guys, still try to get my work done, even though my house is not really in any kind of position to run a business right now until we get moved. The next couple months is going to be tough, but we've kind of just been making the most of it. And I have seen in Facebook groups and across social media some excuses and some real reality checks that some people need. I can't even tell you. And so I want to take you guys through what I've heard and what I've seen. And I want you guys to really think about this in the back of your head, because for a lot of you, maybe being a full-time entrepreneur or reseller isn't for you. You'd think it is, but everything is just in the way. So just a quick hello, everyone in the chat, and the Blue Wrenches Star from Flippin' Hippos and Adam from Adam's Exploits. They are your admins. If you need help, they're over in the chat. And yeah, we will take questions at the end. I saw one from Lester. Does anyone know if I can't send out a package for eBay with Amazon? No, don't do it. You'll get yourself in trouble. Okay, so let me just tell you what started this whole, my idea for this live show and the thought of being, you know, an entrepreneur. Oh, sound and video good too, right? Sound and video, all good. Yeah, Jason just said thank you. Okay, so this was a thread going on in a Facebook group. It wasn't my group, but there was a couple of comments that said, how long does it take you to share your Poshmark closet? And they had like 600 listings, and they may or may not see this, and if they do, that's fine. They had 600 listings and said, I'm lucky if I get it shared once during the entire week. 600 listings shared one time in a week. And that really struck me. Like, everybody here familiar with Poshmark? How many sellers do we have Poshmark here? How many do we have with close to that many? 4, 5, 600 or more? What's up, Primetime Treasure Hunter and Jamie, both in the house as well. What's up, guys? And Randy, I see you as well. So 600 listings shared in 1 week was what they could barely get done. Now, 600 listings for me to share, for those of you not familiar with Poshmark or that don't have that many, that's probably, I don't know, maybe an hour or two, a couple hours at most, right? Hour and a half, 2 hours. You know, Star says they have 1,000 lists, 1,000, and they share half the closet twice a day, so 1,000 a day. And it's why bother if you're not going to try. And so these are people that are in a Facebook group for full-time sellers, or people that want to be full-time sellers or entrepreneurs or whatever. And they can't even get done 600 shares in a week. And people are like, yeah, my kids get in the way, and I just have stuff going on, and I'm busy, but I don't have a job. No job, mind you, no job, just life. Life. You don't want to be an entrepreneur. You don't want to be a full-time reseller. You want to make, it's one of two things. It's one of two things. You want to be a seller, but you want everything handed to you, and you want to make full-time income without doing any work. There are people out there that want to be paid and want to make money without doing work. Unfortunately, there's a lot of those people. A whole lot of those people. It's mind-numbing. They don't want to work. They don't want to do the job. They're just, oh, I just want to list this stuff, and then stuff starts selling and make money. Oh, shut up. You're not an entrepreneur. You don't even care. Like, you don't care, right? Or there's people that fall into the second category that get overwhelmed by work. It's not that they don't mind doing work or that they don't mind being that business owner or entrepreneur, but they just get overwhelmed and crushed by the amount of work. And this is the part that I think is more important for me to talk to with you guys than, you know, anything else. Their excuse is always no time. Mindy is nail on the head. Who doesn't want free money? Yeah. So the second part of this problem of getting overwhelmed is really important to me, because if you're that person that just wants to work and get paid and do nothing and you don't even care, or maybe you just don't want to be a full-time reseller and you're just part-time, whatever, that's cool. You don't even matter in my world. You don't even matter in this conversation, because this is about full-time. If you're part-time, I'm cool with you and I'll help you be full-time or part-time, but this isn't part of this conversation. You don't matter on this side of the fence. If you're just somebody who wants to get paid for doing nothing, you don't matter in my conversation at all. Stop being lazy and do work. But the second person who gets overwhelmed and just can't figure out how to work in the kids and volleyball and school and virtual and feeding the family and all this. If you don't have a job, you got to be better. You got to be a time management. Part of what we do as entrepreneurs and resellers and in any business, it's even as a YouTuber, as somebody who makes these videos, or an editor, or maybe somebody who's an Instagram model or an affiliate link person or whatever, part of what we do is time management, organization, time management, and like just being that project manager. Like if you've ever been a project manager at a business or a company, or somebody that is, it's all about scheduling and planning. And just stop telling yourself you can't do it. Stop saying you don't have time. God, if I hear one more person say I don't have time. No, you have time. You're not making time. The time exists. We all get 24 hours. And you might sleep 6 or 7 or 8 hours a day. And you might go to work for 8 hours a day. But 8 hours and 8 hours is 16. And that leaves 8 more hours to get shit done. Stop making excuses. Like, why? What is an excuse going to do for you in a year from now, in 2 years from now, in 5 years from now, when you just say, well, I didn't have time? Or you could say, man, I'm so glad I made the time because look at what I'm doing right now. To-do list, routines. The more things you do on a regular basis and the more routine it comes, the more natural and the easier it happens, the faster it happens, and the more time you have. It's so bad. I mean, time management is absolutely the way that people that are successful dominate people that are not successful. And there's so many people in my Facebook group and on other groups and pages and on my YouTube channel and here and everywhere that say, I only can get 5 listings done a day, or I can only do X, or I don't have time to go here and do this. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This is like a really short conversation. You do. You're just not doing it. Like people yell at me, if you pay me for a coaching call or for a training program, and then you don't do anything with it, and you don't take the time to learn, and you don't take the time to implement what I'm teaching you or what you learned from somebody else, maybe a Dominic or a Star on YouTube, you took the time to listen. Why? Because the YouTube video is easy, right? Everyone takes the time to do what's easy. If I told you to just, some people sharing comes naturally. They can just sit there and just click the share button all day long. Click, 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 click. But they don't want to do the photos and the listing. So you do what comes easy to you, because that is what you can easily, quickly get through and then not have to worry about the rest. You're like, well, I did some work. Well, yeah, you did what was easy. If doing what was easy every time made money, everyone would be rich, right? You got to do the stuff that's hard too. You can't just time manage around the easy crap. And it's called lazy. It's laziness. It's a lot of it. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of YouTube channels. If you sit down and you watch Dom or Star or me or anybody on YouTube, and that's all you do is just watch the video and then don't implement the work and what we tell you to do, because it's not the easiest job, or you don't have the time, or this or that, you're just not going to be successful. It's just not going to happen. I mean, am I wrong here? Am I completely? Am I just out in left field with this? I don't know. I need more of these, but I'm fresh out of bourbon. I've had this like dryness going on because it's been really hot in Florida, really like humid, and it's been just drying on our throats. I thought bourbon would help, apparently not. Especially when you only have enough for one. And Dom says all true. Look, guys, I can only do, so much for everyone. The old saying, lead the horse to water, that Nurse Flipper just put up there is true. I can lead you. I can give you my whole training program for free. I can give you videos upon videos for days and months and years. And I have. I can link you to Star. I can link you to Dom or Nurse Flipper or anybody else's videos, and Adam and the whole thing. I can give you a million videos to watch for free from any YouTuber you want to watch right now. And some you've probably never heard of. But who cares, right? I've watched 1,000 videos on topics I've never done anything with. Wasted a bunch of time, didn't put the time into it, and whatever. Do you still have a cold? No, I don't have a cold. It's just this dry, it's us running in and out of the house nonstop. It's really killing me. It's crazy. So yeah, and lazy people give us hard workers more sales. That's true. Lazy people do. Bourbon cures everything. Cheers to that. Was that Wayne that said that? It was. How did I know? Accountability. So that's something, let me talk about that. Mr. Exquisite, jobs keep them accountable. Yeah, that's true. You know, look, when you have a job and you have to show up every day or you're going to get fired, you're not going to have a paycheck to pay your bills for your family to live. You are accountable to that business, to that job, to that company. What's up, Aurora? No problem. Better late than never. But Mr. Exquisite just said it. You know, jobs that hold you accountable, you're tied to because they do hold you accountable. But why are people accountable to a boss or a business or a company, but when they work at home for themselves, what is it that tells them they don't have to be accountable for the work that has to get done on a daily basis? Because you still have to pay the bills. You know, I work for myself. I've never really had a job post teenager, 19 years old. And no matter the fact that I don't have anybody to answer to, I have myself to answer to, but I have the bill companies to answer to. You know, I have to pay for this house only for one more month, one more payment, and I don't pay for this house anymore. Yay. I have to pay BMW, which is actually outside. I got to bring it in. I have to pay for the credit card, the Apple card that, you know, I have my phones and watches and stuff on. I have to pay for the electricity that's lighting me up, and I have to pay for the water that allowed me to make the ice for the bourbon. I have to pay all these bills. I have to be, you know, accountable. I have to be accountable to myself and to these bill companies. So why is it that people that have a job are able to be accountable to someone else? They'd rather be accountable to someone that writes their paycheck than be accountable to their self that writes their own paycheck. Somebody explain, is this like some level of psychology that I just don't understand? I'm college educated, but not in psychoanalytics. I'm college educated in business. Probably come as no surprise, at least 2 years of it. I mean, I don't know, make a checklist and get it done. It's actually indoctrinated. From childhood to adulthood, you let somebody tell you what to do your whole life. See, that's where I've always been the outsider. I don't let anyone tell me what to do. There are laws and there are rules that have to be followed, and that's cool. But I don't let anyone dictate how I'm going to live life and what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. Excuse me. From what I learned early was that the people that just blindly follow things are typically the ones that never do anything special. They never do anything outside of the norm, and they're never anything special. And that sounds crazy because everyone's special, but it's true. Like, you don't take somebody who's successful or famous or, a brilliant mind and say they did whatever they were told to do. They didn't. They did whatever they wanted to do, and they found a way, right? And some people are leaders and some people are followers. Some people are like, they need instruction, right? They need to be, and I'm trying to read the chat, so excuse me if I'm not looking at the camera. They need people to hold their hand, and they just can't do it for themselves. Self-discipline is really important. What's up, Kat? Some people are people that they feel lost. Like, does that make sense? It's like, people ever have that feeling of like not knowing what to do, not knowing how to do it, not knowing the right direction? If they don't have somebody helping them with that, if they don't have somebody, guiding them through it, they can't come up with what to do next. They can't come up with whatever. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like where I leave it at that. Bear Kitty, Shadowlands releasing 11/23/24, must have everything done for November by 11/22. Yeah. Me and Keith had a conversation earlier today, and I told him we should pull it all-nighter, and he kind of grumbled at me. Don't let him hear you say that. Yeah, it's our education system to a degree. It teaches students to be good workers and not work for themselves, get a job, pick your life career. Yeah, I believe that college and education, look, hey, I was a good student. I went to, graduated, went to college for a couple of years, this, that, but it wasn't for me. And it was, listening to what other people told me was not the way that I was going to. If I had gotten a job, I could work a job. I could work for, some sales company right now and making calls and selling stuff and getting commissions and living a life. But man, I wouldn't be happy. Yeah. And what I'm telling you to do, when I say watch these videos, learn from training programs, watch other YouTubers, watch Google, watch this, watch that. learn from Instagram is we want you to learn. We don't want you to listen to what we tell you to do. We don't want you to be like, we're guiding you and we're just helping you learn what you need to know to do it on your own. Like, we don't want you to work for us. You know, I don't want any of you to work for me. I want you to work for yourselves. Never punch a time clock. I think the steering of job security, I think that's a big, big point. You wish, just put in there. A lot of people I see on the Facebook group, I'm glad somebody brought this up, make it a point to say they're scared to not have their job and they're doubtful of their own abilities to create the income themselves. And this is an excuse. I call this an excuse, but I don't call this a lazy person's excuse. I call this a fair value excuse. So fair value excuses to me are things that are legitimate concerns and legitimate roadblocks to any task that you're going to want to finish. And a fair value roadblock is the not being able to make enough money. You work, you put in the hours, you're doing, you know, good work, you know what you're doing, you learn, you watch videos, you do all this stuff, and you're still not able to produce what it takes to be successful. And yeah, so went to AACC like me. I went to AACC for 1 year. I went to UMBC for the second year. You know, that's part of the thing. There are people that do the work and just don't make it. They're unlucky. They just don't have, you know, the right things fall into place. There is some luck involved in this, you know, where you live, what you buy, who you meet, connections. But I'll tell you, the hard work will beat luck any day of the year. Luck helps, but you know, knowing people, having support. I didn't get help from people like Dave or, you know, the people that I know are my contacts, or even, you know, take somebody like Star and Keith, for example. You guys know we do like Shopify and wholesale with them on our inventory and our wholesale. It wasn't because I got lucky that I met them. I feel lucky to know them and of course to be friends with them, but it isn't luck that we started working together. It was hard work that they had put in that I saw, and hard work that I do that they saw, that we were able to say, hey, look, I see that, you know, Keith does this and Star does this. I think we would work well together. I think we should put something up. And so we were able to turn that hard work and that, you know, effort into a combined thing, an entity. And so that wasn't luck. It's luck that we stumbled across each other in YouTube channels. Of course, there's some element of that, but it's more of if they had been laying around and I saw them and they're like, screw this reselling thing, I wouldn't have hit them up and been like, hey guys, come on down, let's hang out and work together. I'd have been like, whatever, like catch you guys later, peace. But no, that's the combination of luck, you know, and then the hard work working together. So luck increases the harder you work. Yeah. So hello to Katey Reads. I just saw her in the chat too. People struggle with taking action, especially when they feel the roadblock is legitimate. So Katey Reads made a point that this is something too that I talk to people about a lot, is when there is a fair value roadblock, when there's a legitimate fair value concern, how do you get past it? How do you decide, like, okay, I may work hard, I may buy and sell, and I may not make enough money to pay the bills and succeed, but I still want to try. So I want to hear from you guys in the chat. When you actually see a legitimate, when you know you're a hard worker and when you know you're going to put in the effort, but you see a legitimate concern, maybe I don't have enough money, maybe I live in a small city, maybe this, maybe that. What is it that puts you over the hump to say, I don't care, you know, X, this roadblock, I'm going to do it anyways. And this is how I'm going to make sure that I get over it. Like, what is the mental thing that you do? Is there a mental exercise? I have this really weird, call it like that syndrome where people can't feel stuff when they're like, oh, the stove is hot, don't touch it. And they just, that's me. People are like, don't do that, you're making a mistake. And I'm like, bam, like I'm just like, sweet. But most people have this common sense mindset where they're like, all right, let me slow down and think this through. I don't. I'm like a raging bull through a china shop. I'm like, sweet, can't be done, let's go. Like, oh, we're supposed to jump out of a plane and not have a parachute? Okay, like, cool, whatever. Like, that's just me. Like, no risk factor mind block. But how do you guys that actually have some common sense and some thinking get past that? I'm just stubborn. I like to succeed. Yeah, Star stubborn. I can't go with that. I think a lot of humans are stubborn. That's true. Like, what is, yeah, Mark, what is your why to defeat that fear? Like, what is it that puts you guys past that thing? Because there's a lot of roadblocks where, like, I'll get a deal where it's like 50 grand and they're like, oh, you got to spend 50 grand in cash. And I'm like, oh my God, like, holy crap, like 50 grand. Like, Jesus, I don't want to just put all this out. But then I'm like, all right, let's do it. So, oh my gosh, look who just joined the live chat. Mr. Steve Raiken Profit with a $5 super chat coming through. Steve, long time no talk. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate the super chat. Raiken the OG. Cheers to him, because he taught me a lot of the just go out and get it attitude. I can tell you. Sad face. No more bourbon. What's up, Steve? Can't stand the idea of failure. It's pretty true. I can't stand failing either. When things get close and tight for me, where I'm like, man, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to make some money, I got to be here, I got to be there. That's when I'll push myself. I'll stay up all night. I won't play games. I won't make this. I won't do that. I literally will just crank. And Steve knows that. Great to see everyone in the chat. It's good to see you too, Steve, over at RaikenProfits.com. Man, Steve living so close to me. And of course, he had to move. Steve, remind me, didn't you move the last week of January? Look, Steve moves to Florida and the whole world ends. I'm just going to blame the pandemic, and I'm going to blame everything else that's happened in 2020 on Steve Raiken moving to Miami. He's like, bro, I'm moving to Miami. You got to come hang out. There's going to be a party. It's going to be awesome. And I'm like, dude, let's do it. Let's make videos. Let's hang out on the beach. Let's go in your sky-high condo. Let's do it. And then he calls me like a week later, and he's like, bro, there's a pandemic. We can't hang out. And I'm like, man, it's your fault, Steve. It's all your fault. It is his fault. Steve moves to Miami and just everything goes to shit. That drink looks so good. It was, brother. A little bourbon, a little old-fashioned, little simple syrup with some orange bitters. That was some Woodford Reserve. It was the last bit I had, though. Unfortunately, the only one I had. Just enough for one. What are you gonna do? Yeah, so we blame Steve Raiken for 2020. I'm gonna create a hashtag Raiken fault. FAULT. So Steve's a good dude, always looking out for his mom. Yeah, don't be mad at Steve. Okay, so yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate everybody getting a little inspiration, a little motivation, a little kick in the butt. Don't make excuses, guys. It doesn't matter if it's about business or about your kids going to soccer or about not hanging out with Steve in Miami. Don't make an excuse for it. Just make it happen, right, guys? Those are gross, or maybe it's just the way Casey makes them. No, they're gross, but can't go wrong with a little bourbon, my dear. I love you, Star, but if you don't learn how to drink bourbon, we can't be friends. Not for much longer. It makes it interesting. Brandy old fashioned is the way to go. I don't mind brandy old fashions, but not my favorite. Yeah, I don't drink on my lives. When I do drink, when I'm live on Casey's channel, yeah, sabotage the Rockstars channel. Great. No, I just try to have a drink with you guys. It's kind of our Thursday relaxed time, but sadly, I didn't even have enough to really make a full old fashioned. But what are you gonna do? Okay. Yeah, so no excuses, guys. No matter what it is, reselling, entrepreneur, YouTube, social media, don't make an excuse. Here's another great set of excuses I got. People are like, oh, I don't use Instagram. I don't know how to use it. I don't understand Instagram. That's an excuse, right? Like, this is a huge, like, I'm going to kill myself over this. Don't make an excuse over a platform like an Instagram or a Poshmark or an Amazon or a platform you don't understand, or branching out, maybe using Shopify. Maybe you have a bunch of boxes of wholesale that you want me and Star and Keith to list for you and sell for you, but you're just like, oh, I got to get you that list. I need to get that box. You're just making excuses. Go out to the garage, go to the office, get your stuff, get us a list, we'll get it listed, we'll get it sold, and at the end of the week, you'll have $400 or $500, and you'll be like, man, what was I thinking? Now I got to do this some more. Go on Instagram, say, Casey, I really want to get going on Instagram. I want to build a following. I want to get some inventory from some of my followers coming in. Can you really help me? Can we do a duo live thing? Can you shout me out? Can you tag me? Can we do a video? Just reach out and do stuff that you have to learn how to do, that you don't know how to do. I just saw a comment. Is no money good excuse? I've had people ask for free. I'm not sure I understand that question completely. Yeah, Orange Bitters, good stuff. Hey, from San Francisco, Wayne Miller, what's up? Welcome in. From the West Coast, out in Cali, going back to, never been to California. Never been, true fact, never been to California. Been all over the place. Justin towards the next bottle. Cheers to Justin Packman. Let's give a shout out to Justin. Just 10 Pac-Man in the chat. Hashtag Just 10 Pac-Man. Thank you, buddy. Long time viewer, one of my longest, and good friend of the channel. And we appreciate Justin. And you can click on his name there too and check him out. Yeah. Learn how to use new platforms or memorize. Would you like fries with that? Yeah. And Mindy out in Sacramento. A lot of you out on the West Coast. But fun fact, I have been to over 30 states. I have not been out West with the exception of 2 states. I have only been to Las Vegas, Nevada, which you guys know, obviously for the Vegas conferences that I've been to, many conferences. And I have been to Alaska. When I was 16, I was in Alaska, but I flew to Seattle airport out to Alaska. I have been all up and down the East Coast. I have been to several Midwest states, Tennessee's, Kentucky's, Ohio's, Chicago and Illinois, Indiana, obviously all the southern states, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. I've been in New Orleans, Texas, out in Dallas last year, North and South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, where I'm from, Delaware, DC, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, been to all those places. But out West, no go. Never been past Tennessee and Kentucky and Ohio, that kind of Mississippi River line. I've been to Oklahoma once, but outside of that, haven't been west of there except Vegas. So, never been to Nebraska. Never been. I've never been to California. It's a true story. True story. I'll get there though. I'll get there. I will get there. Okay. I want to open up any questions anybody has. You'll probably be on here another 5 or 6 minutes. Forgettable state is Delaware. Yeah. Delaware is kind of a riot. No, I'm Delaware. Sorry for you guys if you're from Delaware. And it's got nothing to do with current events or politics. I assure you it doesn't. I lived right next to it. So yeah, I've been there. I've been to Delaware a couple times. Renovating, packing to move, reseller rowboat moving as well. Yeah, we'll be moving eventually. Look, you guys remember what my area looked like, my house looked like? Look how empty it is now. Look, let me show you guys. Kate's shut in the bedroom right now. Look, it's all empty. You can see out to the pool. I wish you guys could see the rest of the house because it looks pretty good. It was live. It was listed for sale. It's not listed anymore because it's sold, but yeah, Marylanders are like, yeah. Did I sell my house? Yeah. Go Ravens. Glad you didn't mention Pittsburgh. I have been to Pittsburgh. Not a Steelers fan, but go Ravens against Pittsburgh. Yeah, so the house sold. I'll give you guys just kind of a personal update. Our house did sell. It took 6 days. We got almost full asking price, $3,600 under asking. Really easy negotiation with the seller or with the buyer. They only came back once. There was no big deal. They do unfortunately have to move into the house December 18th because they sold their house. From everything we know, it's a younger couple with a baby. We don't know much more about it. We happened to see them as we were coming in. So we took the offer. The inspection was actually today. We don't know what, if anything, they found. Hopefully nothing. Everything seems to be good on our house. Plumbing, electrical, the roof's brand new. The plumbing's fairly new. The AC is fairly new. Like any house, there's cosmetic stuff. Nothing's perfect. If they want to do cosmetics, then, that's something that they should have, thought about when they made the offer. They made the offer contingent on what it looks like in its current condition. You know, they could always come back with, you know, hey, we'd love to do this and that, and we'd like a little discount, and we'll see what happens. But everything on this house is solid. I mean, this house is built in the late 90s, 98. Nothing wrong with it. Roof's brand new. We just replaced it. Plumbing and AC were replaced when we moved in, and everything else is in really good shape. So hopefully the inspection went well. We'll find out tomorrow. And we'll be out of here December 18th. And our new house, permits were approved for construction, not zoning yet. I got to call the zoning officer tomorrow, but they should be started on it anytime now. But it's like 3.5, 4 months. So that's when we'll be moving in. And that's what happens. Where's all the stuff? A lot of it in the garage. A lot of stuff in the garage right now. Florida, born and raised. Yeah, we love Florida. We're not moving out of Florida. We are moving about 25, 30 minutes north of here, 20 miles, 25 miles. And we're staying in Florida. We're not going to leave Florida. The thought of living in California is like a Laguna beach town. Yeah, maybe just visit once everything goes back to normal, whatever normal is. The thoughts of living in like a Tennessee mountain town, North Carolina town are always intriguing, but I love Florida. This is home. So we'll see. Party at Casey's. 2021 packages. Craig Hill, great question. I am retiring my 2020 training program. It's been available all year. It's below as always, includes all the platforms, eBay, Amazon, Posh, accounting, social media. It's how you learn. It's your escape from excuses. Escape from excuses. Let me say that 5 times fast. Escape from excuses. The cost of living is just too staggering. Yeah, from California. There's no doubt about that. And Casey equals Florida. That's for sure. But the 2021 training package, I try to get things out by December 1st. That's really the plan. I'm currently in a position that I think I can have it done by then. So we're hoping by December 1st. So that's kind of the plan. What is it going to include? I'm going to upgrade 2021 with Shopify. Everyone wants to know how to sell on Shopify. No excuse not to learn it. It's way different than something worth learning. And so Shopify will be a part of this program. Updated eBay with managed payments included in that. Amazon with some of the changes. Posh as it continues to evolve over the years. You'll get advanced and upgraded everything I've learned new about Instagram this year, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everything that I do here to market, how to use an email list to get your own customers off platforms, how to do your own accounting, how to do your own Excel, QuickBooks, GoDaddy, whatever you choose to do, how to register your business, how to create an LLC or continue operating as a sole proprietor, how to do your sales tax, how to do your federal tax as far as tracking numbers, how to get in contact with Mark II, who is an online e-commerce CPA licensed. All of this stuff will be a part of the package. It's a part of it now, but everything will be upgraded for next year. And hopefully the plan will be December 1st. Worst case, December 15th before Christmas. I've got to get it out. So yeah, that's kind of what we'll do. Darlene lived in Laguna Beach and got married at the beach. That's very cool. The cost of living for us is insane. So let me give you guys kind of an idea, and I'll kind of give you guys a screen share. I want you guys to see because I don't care. Nobody's looking for wholesalers in Tampa currently right now. Sorry for that. Let me share screen with you guys real quick. Just give me just a second here. So to give you an idea of the cost of living in California versus where we are now, this is the house that we just sold. So if you guys know the address, that's cool. Doesn't matter. This house is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,709 square feet with a pool and hot tub. And you guys can see what we sold it for. It's pending. Like I told you, it's a little bit less than that. But this is, we'll be out of here in a month. We'll be gone. So you guys can see that this size house is probably, I don't know, every bit of $1 million in California. I mean, 700, 800, somebody help me. Somebody who lives out in like Orange County, Southern California type area. Somebody help me out. It was $1 million, right? Am I right about that? $1 million, something like that. The new place, is 3,300 square feet, 4.2, 2-story. in a very desirable neighborhood, and I'm paying, you know, over 400,000 for it, it's probably $1.5 million out west. So I'm not up to date with California real estate. We live in the same size and are going for $800,000 to $1 million, not $1 million, but you know, something that's 300,000 here, 400,000 here. I would imagine, you know, I have a friend who lives in a neighborhood that's a 3-2 with no pool and hot tub. That's house is worth 600,000 or 700,000 out in California. At least 2 million here. 800,000 depending on the house or on the city. Yeah. So yeah, I was thinking at home hustler. That's probably right. 800,000 up to $1 million, depending on the city. You know, I know people with 600,000, 700,000, 800,000 houses with no pool, no hot tub. 296 gets you a 1,300 square foot townhouse in South Florida. Yeah, I mean, a studio apartment in San Francisco can go for $3,000 a month. That is insanity. It's just nuts. That's a good excuse not to move to California. Talking about excuses, since that's our topic of the night. Our mortgage here with everything is $1,400. You know, so it's going up significantly. Obviously, I'm buying a much bigger house, but the Midwest is cheaper. Our Midwest people, yeah, no pool, no hot tub, Darlene. Ouch. Yeah. So the Midwest, no, thank you. There's nothing out west. There's nothing out there. It's probably why I haven't visited too much of it. Sorry, guys. There's nothing out there. Everyone knows it. Whenever I fly to Vegas and I fly over the Midwest, all I see is this long, expansive nothing. And I'm like, man, can you imagine living there? And we both look at each other and we're like, nope. Oh, goodness. Rural America, cheaper to live for sure. And Nurse Flipper living in the country. Yeah, I mean, you can live in the country here in Florida and you can live cheap. You could buy something even cheaper than mine for like half price. Cali's crazy. Your mortgage is $4,000. Whew. I wouldn't have the car. I certainly wouldn't be driving the car. Anyways, okay, so no excuses, guys. I'm not going to make any excuses for not having any bourbon. There's no excuse for running out of bourbon. Unfortunately, it's 9:40. I can't go get more bourbon. I'm stuck till tomorrow. But Friday is going to be Bourbon Friday. No inspection tomorrow, especially if we get a positive inspection report. We are celebrating. Lindy's in the house. Yeah. If it wasn't humid, it is humid here in Florida. It is true. Yeah, Seattle getting expensive. You know, Florida's humid. We do have the Gulf Coast, so we get a little bit of a break. The worst place is Orlando is super hot and humid. You ever come with the kids to Disney? I can remember when we were kids, like 13, 15. We came to Disney like every other year when we lived in Maryland. Like I was 13. We came when I was 16. We came when I was almost 18. I think we came when I was like 9. Probably over the course of my life living in that house, we came 5 or 6 times. And it was always hot. We were sweating. We were like, ew, Florida. Blah. It is hot in Orlando. We have Gulf Coast here in Tampa, but man, it's hot. And then, of course, Miami, South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Miami Gardens, Coconut Creek, all that stuff. That place is just super hot. It's farther south, 3.5, 4 hours, closer to the equator, closer to South Florida and the hot temperatures. It is muggy hot down there. Also really bad. A lot of people don't know this. Lake Okeechobee, where the swamps and the gators are, and Alligator Alley that runs across the bottom of our state from Naples, Florida to Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. That area in southwest Florida, the Gulf Coast, southwest Florida, closer to the Keys. Key West is really hot and sticky too. Naples, Fort Myers, Coral Gables, all of those places, those are super hot as well. The 2020 guide will be out until I get up to 2021, probably until December. Yeah, so good luck with the inspection. Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so too pale for Florida, Justin. So am I, buddy. Have you seen this? Have you seen this paleness? Come on, buddy. Come on. That's not the lights. Let me turn off here. I'll show you guys. Let me look. I'll turn off the lights. Can you guys still see? Look at that. I can't live in Florida either. I don't belong here. Anyways, yeah. So South Florida, very hot. Bugs, snakes, and alligators. All the above, you guys. All the above. All right. I love all of you guys. You guys are the best. Okay. Florida meetup when COVID goes away. Yes. AC runs all day here and no excuses. None. No excuses, you guys. Cheers with my fake drink that I don't have. Sorry. Cheers to everyone. Don't make excuses. Thank you to everyone who dropped in, everybody who joined us, everybody who is an admin. Thank you for being an admin in this channel, and everyone who's a YouTuber and puts in the work. Congratulations to you guys on an awesome 2020. The 2020 training guide is available until I get 2021 up. It's below. Don't forget to grab it. And everyone that does grab 2020, I'll work out a special deal for 2021 with you. Hit that like button before you leave. Oh my goodness. Woo! Hold on. He caught us before we left. Prof Sales. Dang, I missed it, but he's here. We haven't heard from Jason Prof Sales in a minute. And by minute, I mean 2020. Prof Sales, how you doing? I'll stay for just a minute to say hi to Jason. If you guys don't know Prof Sales, he's a longtime friend of this channel. I've known Jason Prof, met him in Vegas. I've known him for the last 4 or 5 years. Great guy, super smart, probably the smartest guy in this room right now, and in a lot of rooms. So thank you for dropping in for even just a minute, Jace. I appreciate that. But do hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss future videos. It's real important to the algorithm. If you hit that button, it makes us go up and up and up and up the algorithm. And it means a lot to all the other people that will get to see this video because it went up in the algorithm. And YouTube suggested it on the side later to them. So thank you, thank you, thank you a million times over. Good to hear your voice. Prof, good to hear you as well. Feel free to message me anytime. Any of y'all, feel free to message or email. I will officially let it go. Thank you, Jason, for stopping by. Lindy, Star, Keith, Adam, Justin with the super chat. Everyone else with the super chat. Appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful night. See you next time. Bye, guys.